on Doordarshan. I'm Sakal Bhatt, and first up, here are the headlines at this hour. In an unscheduled visit this morning, Prime Minister Narendra Modi visits Gurudwara Rakabganj Sahib in Delhi and pays tributes to Guru Tegh Bahadur for his supreme sacrifice. Senior BJP leader and Home Minister Amit Shah visits Vishwabharati University, pays floral tributes to Rabindranath Tagore and Shanti Niketan. Home Minister to hold roadshow from Hanuman Mandir to Bholpur Chaurasta, also to address a press conference. COVID-19 recovery rate reaches 95.51% in India. Global cases cross 7 crore 66 lakh. Britain reverses Christmas plans for millions to fight new COVID strain. And in sports, good start to Indian boxing in Cologne Boxing World Cup. Amit Panghal, Simranjeet Kaur and Manisha win gold after getting walkover in finals. And in Spanish La Liga, Lionel Messi equals Pele's record of 643 goals for single club, but was unable to help Barcelona beat Valencia in La Liga as it had to settle for a 2-all home draw. And now for the top stories in detail. Prime Minister Narendra Modi on Sunday made a surprise visit to Gurudwara Rakabganj in Delhi and paid tributes to Guru Tegh Bahadur for his supreme sacrifice. During Prime Minister Modi's visit, no police bandobast or traffic barriers were put in place to restrict the movement of the common people. Guru Tegh Bahadur's death anniversary was observed on Saturday. The mortal remains of Guru Tegh Bahadur, the 9th Sikh Guru, were consigned to flames at Gurudwara Rakabganj. On his Shahidi Divas, Prime Minister recalled Guru Tegh Bahadur's vision for a just and inclusive society. And after a while, Prime Minister took to Twitter to share details about his Gurudwara visit and posted the moments he spent there. He tweeted, and I quote, let's play out the quote for our viewers. This morning, I prayed at the historic Gurudwara Rakabganj Sahib, where the pious body of Sri Guru Tegh Bahadur Ji was cremated. I felt extremely blessed. I, like millions around the world, am deeply inspired by the kindness of Sri Guru Tegh Bahadur Ji. It is the special kripa of Guru Sahib that we will mark the special occasion of the 400th Prakash Parv of Sri Guru Tegh Bahadur Ji during our government's tenure. Let us mark this blessed occasion in a historic way and celebrate the ideals of Sri Guru Tegh Bahadur Ji, unquote. The other big story of the day, Union Minister and Senior BJP leader Amit Shah is on a 2-day visit to state of West Bengal, which will conclude today. The senior leader reached Birbhum and visited Vishwabharati University. He also paid floral tributes to Rabindranath Tagore at Rabindra Bhavan and attended a cultural program at the university in Shanti Niketan. Amit Shah will also hold a roadshow from Hanuman Mandir to Bholpur Chaurasta, as well as address a press conference as well. Amit Shah's visit is very significant as West Bengal goes to polls in 2021, and BJP is leaving no stone unturned in its mission to come to power in the state of West Bengal. And my senior colleague Rajiv Bhattacharya joins us live from Shanti Niketan. Let's quickly go across to him. Rajiv, now the focus shifts to the road show, and I believe the preparations and the and the bandobast all is in place, but the bigger question, Raji, just to put this in perspective, why is this visit so important? Because West Bengal is looking at the important elections and also in terms of consolidating BJP's cadre on ground, and this is also coming at a time when Mamata Banerjee has some serious issues within her own party.
Right, Sakal. This morning, the Union Home Minister paid a visit to Vishwabharati. Right now, it is he's on the last lap of the Vishwabharati tour now at Rabindra Bhavan. And the place where I'm standing right now is the house of Basudev Baul, the Baul singer. You can see where you see that gate, and that is where inside is the house where Basudev Baul stays, and the Union Home Minister is going to go into that house and have lunch there. Now, this is the start, one can really say, but the start of the political leg of the day's tour. He has lunch at the house of a Baul singer, one of the ordinary folk singers of the state who move around barefoot from place to place, singing their songs and asking people for some donations. So it gives a message that the party, the BJP, is with the common people of the state. And right after this lunch break, the Home Minister travels for his political rally, where this road show in Birbhum is a significant step for the Bharatiya Janata Party in West Bengal, because Birbhum has been considered a stronghold of the Trinamool Congress. Therefore, by holding this road show here, Amit Shah and the Bharatiya Janata Party wants to give out this message that the BJP is a very strong contender in the assembly elections of 2021, and if any indications are to go by, and what with yesterday's mega rally where Amit Shah said that they were confident of taking 200 seats or more. So therefore, that of course is a question of to be finalized a few months later. But if you look at this is the start of a significant series of political movements, and today's roadshow is just a beginning of that. Sakal.
Yes, and the fact that there you have Amit Shah in the very bastion of Mamata Banerjee, Trinamool Congress already ridden with a lot of fractionalism within its own cadres. But overall, Rajiv, how have the people responded to this massive outreach of senior BJP leader Amit Shah there in West Bengal? The overall response of the people out there?
Well, if yesterday's mega rally was anything to go by, the response has been huge. It was a huge, massive kind of a rally. And today, wherever we've gone, whatever we have seen, the larger numbers of people on both sides of the road trying to get a glimpse of the Home Minister. But of course, in these days, the security being so tight, sometimes their vigil and their wait is not rewarded in that sense, because it's the motorcade and the security and so on. But a lot of enthusiasm and a lot of interest in this visit, and as we were coming to this house, we saw a huge procession traveling towards the start of that road show. So large numbers of people walking to that place where this roadshow is going to start, and therefore that is a pointer to the kind of acceptability that the party is gaining across the state. Sakal.
Yes, and a little bit more, just to put in perspective, what really makes this Rajiv Bholpur road show extremely significant? The fact that the Bholpur has been picked up by Amit Shah.
Right, you see, Bholpur and Shantiniketan in particular has always been regarded as the cradle of Bengali culture, for its association with Gurudev Rabindranath Tagore. Gurudev Rabindranath Tagore established the Vishwabharati University here and spent a large part of his life writing his priceless pieces of literature. And of course, people from eminent personalities from different parts of the world used to come and stay here in Shantiniketan. And the ambience of Shantiniketan, the music, the dance, everything is considered to be a heart of Bengali culture. And if you remember, there was an allegation by the Trinamool Congress that this people who have no roots and no connection to the state cannot understand the cultural ethos and the impact that the culture of Bengal has on its people. And therefore, by picking on Bengali icons, who are national icons and international icons as well, say like Ishwar Chandra Vidyasagar, then Khudiram Bose yesterday, and today Rabindranath Tagore, and not to forget Swami Vivekananda, whose house Amit Shah visited yesterday. So all these cultural icons are being picked with that particular intention to show the connect of this party with the people and with the culture of the state ahead of the assembly elections.
And in terms of this being a big political move, like you explained, why Bholpur? Similarly, a strategic move to pick Birbhum district in terms of party wanting to really make inroads in the state of West Bengal.
Right, because Birbhum, as I said earlier, is considered to be a stronghold, or was a stronghold of the Trinamool Congress earlier days, and is still considered to be a stronghold. And in fact, their district president, Anubrata Mandal, is also quite well known in political circles. And therefore, by picking Bholpur of Birbhum, a message is being sent out to the Trinamool Congress that the BJP is ready to bear the lion in its den. So therefore, not elsewhere, not in the cities, mind you, this is a semi-rural, semi-urban kind of an area, and therefore even in this heartland, the Birbhum and Bholpur can be considered to be the heartland of Bengal. To be in the heartland of Bengal and take out a road show just is an indication of the political power and the political muscle that the BJP has developed over the years in this state, and therefore it is an exhibition of that power and that muscle that today's roadshow signifies. Sakal.
All right. Well, we will, of course, be cutting live those visuals when the Bholpur roadshow takes off. And Rajiv, of course, you will be joining us live then. But till then, thank you very much for those quick updates on this big story of the day. Thank you. And now let's move on and talk about the other leads that we are tracking for you. Raksha Mantri Rajnath Singh inaugurated the Advanced Hypersonic Wind Tunnel Test Facility at DRDO's Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam Missile Complex during his visit to Hyderabad on Saturday. The state-of-the-art HWT test facility is a pressure vacuum-driven enclosed free jet facility having nozzle exit diameter of 1 meter and will simulate Mach number 5 to 12, where Mach represents the multiplication factor to the speed of sound. After USA and Russia, India is the third country to have such a large facility in terms of size and operating capability. Raksha Mantri appreciated the endeavours of the contributions of DRDO Young Scientist Labs and said that DRDO needs to focus on next generation needs, including cyber security, space and artificial intelligence, and also evolve roadmaps. Shifting focus to Srinagar. Srinagar experienced the coldest night of the season so far on Saturday as Kashmir continued to reel under freezing night temperatures. The Met Department said the valley is bracing up for a 40-day harshest winter period that's called Chile Kalan in local parlance from Monday, when the chances of snowfall are frequent and maximum and the temperature drops considerably. The Met Office says that while no major snowfall is expected till the end of this month in the Union Territory, there is a possibility of light to moderate snowfall during December 21st, 22nd at isolated places in Kashmir Valley. Well, it is estimated that global water consumption will be highly increasing by the year 2025, and much of this water will have to be obtained from natural systems. Scientists from across the globe have been trying to tackle this crisis by pulling water out of air. In one such attempt, researchers at the Indian Institute of Technology at Guwahati have developed novel materials that can efficiently harvest water from humid air. Let's see how. The researchers produced a patterned hydrophilic slip by spraying a sponge-like porous polymeric material on top of a simple A4 printer paper. Further, chemically modulated hydrophilic spots were associated with the coating before lubricating with two distinct types of oils, natural olive oil and synthetic Crytox. The surface could harvest water from foggy or water vapor-laden air without the need for any cooling arrangement. According to the lead researcher, Dr. Manna, IIT Guwahati has produced highly efficient water harvesting interface where the fog collecting rate is very high. The researchers have also compared the performance of the pitcher plant-inspired slips materials to other bio-inspired ideas and have found theirs to be superior in terms of efficiency of water harvesting. It also could be used for other purposes such as easily cleanable household appliances in underwater hulls of ships and submarines to prevent biofouling and anti-icing windows for aircraft. And with this, we will now also take a look at the update on the COVID-19 from across the country. India has maintained a very high recovery rate so far from COVID-19, besides a rapidly declining active cases and a low mortality rate. Recoveries continue to outnumber new cases. Coronavirus tally in the country continues its trend in COVID recoveries. 95,80,402 patients of COVID-19 have recovered so far. India's recovery rate is amongst the highest in the world. India recorded 95.51%. The rising recoveries have led to a continuous contraction of India's active caseload. Active caseload stood at 3.04% of the total number of cases. And according to the ICMR, the apex body at the forefront of formulating COVID-19, a total of 16 crore 11 lakh 98,195 samples have been tested for COVID-19 so far, and out of these 11 lakh 7,681 samples have been tested on 19 December alone. Let us now take a look at the update on the COVID-19 pandemic from across the world. As of now, more than 7 crore 66 lakh coronavirus cases have been reported worldwide, with over 16 lakh 91,000 deaths reported. Over 5 crore 37 lakh people have recovered from the virus. The United States continues to remain the worst hit country by the pandemic so far, with the highest number of infections. The US has recorded over 1 crore 80 lakh cases of the virus, with the death toll surging past 3 lakh 23,000. The total number of COVID-19 cases in the United States has topped over 1 crore 80 lakh on Saturday. The country reported over 2 lakh 13,830 new infections and over 2,452 more deaths in a single day. Meanwhile, the medical system has been under tremendous pressure, with the number of patients being hospitalized reaching a new record for the 13th day in a row. Now, the U.S. Food and Drug Administration on Friday authorized American drug maker Moderna's COVID-19 vaccine for emergency use in U.S. It is the second COVID-19 vaccine that has received FDA's emergency use authorization in the country, following the first one developed by American drug maker Pfizer in partnership with German company BioNTech. Staying with international news, British Prime Minister Boris Johnson on Saturday reversed plans to ease curbs over Christmas, saying Britain was dealing with a new coronavirus strain up to 70% more transmissible than the original. He said London and southeast England, which are currently in the highest level of the three-tier system of rules, would now be placed in a new Tier 4 level, similar to those of a recent national lockdown. People in Tier 4 will be required to stay at home except for essential reasons such as work. Non-essential retail will close, as will indoor leisure and entertainment. Social mixing will be limited to meeting one other person in an outdoor space. The new rules have already come into effect from midnight on Saturday. Also, Scottish First Minister Nicola Sturgeon says travel between Scotland and the rest of the UK would be banned. She has said that they simply cannot risk more of this new strain entering the country. Shifting focus to France, where people have, people living in France could start receiving COVID-19 vaccine developed by Pfizer or BioNTech in the last week of December if EU authorities approve it next week, as announced by the French Prime Minister Jean Castex. Castex told Parliament that the vaccine campaign in France would then be stepped up in January, with the elderly and other vulnerable groups coming first in the queue. Castex also said that France has already pre-ordered 200 million doses of COVID vaccines. France is hoping to administer COVID vaccines to around 1 million people in nursing homes in January and February, and then a further 14 to 15 million people in the wider population between March and June. Hundreds of people braved 2.5-hour wait in Madrid on Saturday to queue to buy tickets for Spain's Christmas lottery at a vendor considered the luckiest in Spain. Security guards ensured people respected social distancing in the long queue outside Dona Manolita, which is a central Madrid kiosk that has been selling lottery tickets for more than 100 years. This year, the popular tradition is bringing some much-needed hope to many Spaniards who have endured some of the toughest lockdown restrictions and highest coronavirus tolls in Europe. Madrid regional authorities on Friday announced that they would tighten Christmas restrictions, cutting down the people who could meet up from 10 to 6. Spain's Christmas lottery is known as El Gordo, or the Fat One, dates back to 1812 and is a major event in the festive calendar of Spain. Staying with international news, Israel kicked off a coronavirus vaccination drive on Saturday, with Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu getting the country's first injection in a live telecast. Shipments of Pfizer vaccine began arriving in Israel last week. Moderna and AstraZeneca vaccines are on order. Israel expects to have enough doses by the year end for the 20% of its population most prone to COVID-19 complications. Netanyahu says he was being vaccinated first in order to encourage others. And with the procedure at a medical center over, Netanyahu paraphrased astronaut Neil Armstrong's first words on the moon. And I quote, "That was a small jab for a man, a huge step for the health of us all." Unquote. And Mexico City and the neighboring states of Mexico are suspending non-essential activities due to a surge of coronavirus infections and death that is quickly saturating hospitals. The suspension has taken effect on Saturday and will last through January 10th. The temporary suspension was aimed at limiting people congregating and traveling, which would help reduce contagion. Despite the warnings, Mexico City and adjacent state of Mexico, home to over 20 million residents, have witnessed frenzied holiday shopping, with people flooding shopping districts, buying Christmas gifts from street vendors and waiting in long lines to enter stores. And now let's talk about China as well. The US has added dozens of Chinese companies, including drone manufacturer SZDJI Technology Company Limited, to a trade blacklist. Drone maker DJI is the latest Chinese firm to be added to a US trade blacklist. The entity list is drawn up by the US Department of Commerce and already includes more than 275 China-based firms, including telecoms giant Huawei. Meanwhile, Chinese drone maker DJI has responded to news and said its products will remain on sale despite the move. The company said customers in America can continue to buy and use DJI products normally. News coming in from Armenia. Thousands and thousands of Armenians marched to the capital Yerevan on Saturday to commemorate the soldiers killed in a 6-week conflict over the Nagorno-Karabakh region, in which Azerbaijan made significant territorial gains. The conflict and the fatalities on the Armenian side have increased pressure on Prime Minister Nikol Pashinyan, whom the opposition accuses of mishandling the conflict by accepting a Russian-brokered ceasefire last month to resign. Pashinyan led the march held on the first of 3 days of mourning, driving up to the Yarablar military cemetery to light incense on the graves of fallen soldiers along with other senior officials. Armenia's opposition has called on its supporters to join a national strike on December 22nd at the end of the 3-day mourning period to pressure Pashinyan to resign over the losses incurred in a conflict over Nagorno-Karabakh. And in Turkey, at least 9 people have died in a fire which broke out in a private hospital's COVID-19 intensive care unit in southwestern province of Gaziantep on Saturday. The fire was caused by explosion of an oxygen ventilator, as confirmed by the local governorship in the statement, adding that other patients receiving treatment were transferred to nearby hospitals. 2 prosecutors in the province have been commissioned to investigate the cause of the explosion. And now let's get you some sports news. Indian ace boxer and world silver medalist Amit Bengal notched up a gold medal at the Cologne World Cup in Germany on Saturday without having to fight his final bout in the 52 kg category. Amit Bengal was given a walkover by his opponent, the German boxer Agresti Tartarian, Meanwhile, in women's bout, Simranjeet Kaur won the women's 60 kg final as she defeated Germany's Maya Lenhans by 4-1 scoreline. Manisha Mon defeated Sakshi in the finals 3-2. India won 9 medals, including 3 gold, 2 silver, 4 bronze at Germany World Cup. So good start for Indian pugilists there in the boxing ring post-pandemic. And in Spanish La Liga, Lionel Messi equaled Brazil legend Pelé records of 643 goals for a single club by scoring for Barcelona in Saturday's draw against Valencia. The Argentine achieved the feat with a diving header just before half-time immediately, and his penalty was saved by keeper João Domenech. Messi scored his first goal for the Barca in 2005 against Albacete. Pelé scored 643 goals in 19 seasons for Brazilian side Santos between 1956 and 1974. Sadly for Messi, his celebrations will likely be muted after Barcelona failed to beat their mid-table opponents. The result leaves the 26-time champions fifth in La Liga, 8 points behind Atletico Madrid, who earlier defeated Elche 3-1 to move to 29 points. And the southern Italian city of Naples honored soccer idol Diego Maradona by illuminating the walls of the waterfront castle, Castle dell'Ovo, with an animation of about 100 pictures of the late Argentine legend. Maradona came to Naples, a city drenched in sun and superstition, in 1984 when he was just 23, achieving a godlike status in the Italian city, where he played some of the most sublime soccer. And let's quickly cut live to Amit Shah's.
Hold on. Silence. ठीक है सर, बिल्कुल सही जगह पे खड़े हैं सर, बिल्कुल ठीक है सर। बस भैया थोड़ा शांति रखो तो मैं बोलूँ। एक मिनट ठीक है सर, ठीक है। कैमरा आ रहा है तुम्हारा भाई। शांति शांति, माथा नीचू, माथा नीचू, ऑडियो नहीं, कैमरा पर से प्रॉब्लम हो रहा है, ऑडियो नहीं, रिकॉर्ड कर लो बाद में। ठीक है सर। आज मेरे लिए बड़ा सौभाग्य का दिन है कि आज मैंने आज मेरे लिए बड़ा सौभाग्य का दिन है कि आज मैंने विश्व भारती में जाकर वो महामानव को श्रद्धांजलि देने का मुझे मौका मिला, जिसने दुनिया भर में भारतीय ज्ञान, दर्शन, कला, साहित्य इसकी गूंज मजबूत की। गुरुदेव टैगोर एक ऐसी शख्सियत थे जो उस जमाने में राष्ट्रवाद की दो धाराएं थी और दो धारा के प्रमुख नेता थे महात्मा गांधी और सुभाष बाबू। दोनों को प्रेरणा एक ही स्थान से मिलती थी। गुरुदेव टैगोर ने विश्व भारती और शांति निकेतन के माध्यम से एक और तो भारतीय साहित्य, भाषा, दर्शन, कला उसका संरक्षण और संवर्धन किया। दूसरी ओर दुनिया भर के कई देशों की भाषा को, साहित्य को, दुनिया भर के कई देशों की संस्कृति को भारतीय संस्कृति के साथ, भारतीय भाषाओं के साथ सामंजस्य बिठाने का शांति निकेतन को, ये विश्व भारती को सेंटर बनाया। यहाँ ग्रामोत्थान, स्वास्थ्य, सफाई, सहकारिता, कृषि, ये सारे क्षेत्रों को भी अर्थ जगत के साथ जोड़ने का काम श्री निकेतन के माध्यम से गुरुदेव ने किया। और शायद दुनिया में एक ऐसा व्यक्ति था जिसकी रची हुई रचनाएं 2 राष्ट्रों का राष्ट्रगान है। गुरुदेव को जब नोबेल मिला तब मैंने किसी की एक उक्ति पढ़ी थी कि गुरुदेव के ज्ञान को, गुरुदेव के साहित्य को, गुरुदेव की कविता को नोबेल प्राइज ने एक्नॉलेज किया है। मैं इतना बहुत मन से मानता हूं कि नोबेल प्राइज ने गुरुदेव की कविताओं को एक्नॉलेज नहीं किया, नोबेल प्राइज ने गुरुदेव को सम्मानित कर अपने आप को एक्नॉलेज कराया है। और गुरुदेव की यही विरासत, गुरुदेव का यही विचार, जो बताते थे शिक्षा का उद्देश्य संकीर्णता की सभी बेड़ियों को तोड़ना हो सकता है और यथार्थ को सबसे अच्छे तरीके से जानना हो सकता है। तो वही उद्देश्य जब 100 साल पूरे होने जा रहे हैं महान संस्था के, उस वक्त यहीं से फिर से एक बार मजबूती के साथ ये संदेश न केवल देश विश्व भर में जाए और गुरुदेव के विचारों के आधार पर भारतीयता को, भारत के दर्शन को, ज्ञान को, साहित्य को, कला को एक वैश्विक स्वीकृति मिले, ये हम सब ये चाहेंगे। आज मैंने गुरुदेव जहाँ रहते थे वहाँ भी कुछ समय बिताया, महात्मा गांधी जहाँ रहे थे वहाँ भी थोड़ा समय बिताया और ये महान शख्सियत को, ये महान व्यक्तित्व को श्रद्धांजलि देने का मुझे मौका मिला, इसलिए मैं अपने आप को भाग्यशाली समझता हूँ। धन्यवाद।
They are talking about the rich legacy of Rabindranath Tagore. Remember, he just a while back also visited Vishwa Bharati University, where he paid floral tributes to Rabindranath Tagore at Rabindra Bhavan, and there he was talking in great length about the legacy of Tagore and what he means to the country. In fact, very important, the next stopover of Amit Shah is going to be a road show from Hanuman Mandir to Bholpur Chaurasta. We'll be cutting live to those visuals as well as and when it happens. That's going to be our top story, besides other big stories that we are tracking for you at this hour on DD News. I'll have to take your leave, but my colleague Asim Mishra is going to join you on the other side with news in Hindi. Don't go away. We'll be right back. Namaskar.